Okay, Scooter, you can come out from behind there now. Your time is up.
Oh man, it's right out here.
Stay tuned and watch my handyman convert that unusable space into more storage space for my shoes this time.
Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for getting through that cringeworthy introduction. So in our fifth wheel, we noticed that we had some utility compartments that had a lot of space in them. Well, at least one of them did. But there was a lot of wires and stuff hanging around, and although I was putting some stuff in there, I was always a little hesitant because those wires were in the way and I was afraid of pulling them. And that kind of made it difficult for Ellen to feel comfortable using the space as well. So in our quest to reduce weight in the rig, and there's some videos here about that issue that we're dealing with, I was moving around some stuff, trying to get rid of stuff, and I realized that a lot of the things that I had in our primary storage were things that we didn't use all that often, seasonal things, and you know, we rarely used them, and I had to always move them out of the way to get to something else that we needed more frequently. So what I decided to do is take a look at one of these utility spaces and see what I could do to clean it up a bit to make it more practical. So this video is about that. Let me show you how I get it all done. All right, so this is what it looks like before I straighten out the cables. It's actually a bit cleaner in here than it was originally because I did vacuum up a lot of sawdust. There was a lot of sawdust way down there, and vacuuming it up is probably a good idea because if you do get critters in here, chances are they'll get a little bit more comfortable in the sawdust. And then also, if there's droppings and stuff and it's in the sawdust, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. So it's a good idea to clear it all out. So this is what we got. Cables all over the place. You could put your stuff in here, but you'd be laying it on the cables and potentially pulling them out and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is tie them up, get them off the floor here, use some tie wraps, and then get to use some of this space. All right, show you how I get it done. All right, so these are the things I'm going to use here. I'll put a picture of these so you can see more clearly, but basically what they are is things to mount the tie wraps to. So there's a screw in this little clasp, and then the tie wrap goes through. I've kind of already eyeballed where I'm going to put them, so it's as easy as getting them on your driver here. I know I want one right about here. And then, let's see. Another one probably right here. Okay. Don't know if you saw me do that one. All right. So like I said, this cable I'm going to put behind me. Now I'm kind of all the way in here. Get this here. Gotta use a big enough tie wrap to get it all around everything. Get it started. And I'm not gonna tighten it up. I'm gonna lay them all in and then tighten it all up as I go along. All right, so I got them loosely bundled here. Now I'll get this one up here. Get it laced in pretty well. And then there you go. So I will just keep along going doing that until I get it all done. I'm not going to put it all on camera. I'll show you the finished work because it is tight and it's getting a little bit warm in here too. All right, I'm done. Let's check it out. So there you go. Got all the wires bundled up and tidied up high. Tucked in all the slack where I could. Rolled up slack in other places. Over there we have the Schwinn-Tech controller, which now, if I ever need to get to it, I won't have to be fighting around the wires. I put in a rechargeable LED light so we can have some lighting in here. Plenty of space down there. We've got this neat little cavity that's underneath the stairs. And then while I was down here, I also put in this outlet just in case I need to power anything up while it's down here. And right now I have a new Starlink here that I'm powering up. That's only temporary there. That'll go up in my utility closet upstairs above the washer and dryer once I get around to it. And this putting this outlet in was pretty easy. The wiring is already there because it was serving this outlet here. So I just spliced into one and put that outlet. And then I also used these type of anchors here for the tie wraps. Those have adhesive back rather than screwing them in, and so they're just put onto the metal there. This one looks like it loosened up a little bit, so I'll reattach that. Yeah, so there you go. Now let me show you what we're going to fit in here. I already did a kind of dry fit to see what we could fit in. And I have a large tote over here with some seasonal stuff, Christmas lights and cold weather clothing. I've got a travel duffel bag, roller bag there. And then I've got a couple of smaller Rubbermaid containers with some supplies, some of my network gear, extension cord, and a couple of planters that Ellen uses while we're in long stay places like down in Florida. She'll plant flowers, herbs, things like that. Signage for our lot when we need it. A couple of pieces of wood because you always need that. A T-square, some packing material, some touch-up paint, and then some flooring adhesive that for some flooring projects I was doing. So before, that used to be up in here, and I didn't need to use it all the time, so it was always in the way. If I wanted to get to something else, I had to move that. So now I'm going to put it all back in there, and it'll be out of the way until we need it, which will be infrequently. So that's going to turn out to be pretty convenient. So here it is. We've packed everything I showed you out there is packed in here now. Starlink is still in there. And over there is that rolling tote. There's the big clear tote. And I still have a little bit of room there and a little bit of room there. So what I could do is, on travel days, I could put my DeWalt vacuum cleaner in there and even the leaf blower. And I still have a little bit of room. So that is pretty cool. And if I wanted to stack a little higher, I got some more room up there. You can just keep on shoving stuff in. But, we're trying to reduce weight, so I can't really do that. All right, stick around for a quick recap. All right, there you go. So that took me about an hour and 15 minutes to do all that work, including installing the outlet. So, I don't think the manufacturers really intended those spaces to be for storage. Otherwise, they would have cleaned them up, maybe. Usually in those utility spaces, they do nothing to pretty it up. I've only seen one manufacturer so far in my tech work that has actually dressed in cables like that. So they don't put an emphasis on that, and it's no big deal. It's easy enough to clean it up and turn it into space you can use. Now that space isn't insulated. It does have some exposure to the weather from holes coming through the bottom of the rig, the chassis and whatnot. So you want to be careful of what you actually put down there. My stuff is all pretty, weather resistant in those boxes and things. The piece of luggage I have is a piece of luggage. It takes a beating, so I'm not concerned about that. So, a lot of people watch these videos, but I see they're not subscribing. So, if you do like this kind of content, please do subscribe as usual. If you like this particular video, give it a thumbs up. If you think other people will get value from this video, please share it out to them. Thanks for watching. It's my pleasure. Leave your questions, comments down below. There are links down below to all of the things that I used in this video as well. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. See you next time.